Fans of comic book movies simply love to theorize what's going to happen in the future of their favorite franchises. Given the massive success of and huge number of movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU fans in particular are always coming up with theories about what's going to happen in future installments.
I have an equation.
Oh, this will clear it up.
In this video, we'll take you through some of those theories that actually turned out to be true, even though very few people truly took them seriously when they were originally conceived. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It's the best way of keeping up to date with all of Screen Rant's great new videos.
Oh, man. Anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted, at that time, I was a Federal Express man.
Stan Lee's cameos. Stan Lee appears in most, but not all, Marvel live-action productions, whether it be in movies or TV shows. But he has in fact appeared in every single Marvel Cinematic Universe movie to date. From Stan the Man's first cameo as the guy mistaken for Hugh Hefner in 2008's Iron Man, to his most recent appearance as the school bus driver in this year's Avengers Infinity War, Lee hasn't missed a single installment in the 19-movie franchise. Years ago, he had already led fans to believe he was playing the same character in each movie, with some believing he was actually the MCU's version of Uatu the Watcher. In 2017's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, it was confirmed that he was indeed playing the same character in each movie. And while he wasn't Uatu, he was an informant for the Watchers of the MCU, as he was seen having a discussion with them on a distant planet, telling them of his adventures in the franchise up until that point. We love Lee's cameos, and we can't wait to see what roles his character will be playing in future movies, and hopefully we'll see more of the Watchers as well.
Nice work, kid.
The Iron Man 2 Kid. In Iron Man 2, during the climactic confrontation with Ivan Vanko's hammer drones at the Stark Expo, you may remember that a young kid wearing an Iron Man mask and glove bravely stepped up to confront one of them. Of course, Tony Stark then stepped in himself, thanked the plucky little guy for his help, and flew off to continue the battle. But the kid was still extremely memorable, given his bravery in a situation that most youngsters would be terrified of. Given that Tom Holland's Peter Parker was revealed to be something of a Tony Stark fan in Captain America: Civil War, some fans theorized that the brave little kid from Iron Man 2 was actually him, and with some pretty convincing reasoning. The ages of the two characters matched, and Parker seemed like the kind of fearless kid who would put himself in danger and do something like that. As it turns out, Tom Holland has confirmed that to be the case. It might not have been what Marvel Studios were going for at the time, but retrospective confirmation is still confirmation.
I built in a safety to cut their power source.
Loki's scepter.
Loki's Sceptre. The first Avengers movie in 2012 had the Tesseract as its MacGuffin. When the movie was first released, it was widely believed that Loki's scepter was powered by the item, which, as it turns out, is the Marvel Cinematic Universe version of the Space Stone. However, given that it was used to mind control people, fans started to theorize that the scepter was actually powered by the Mind Stone. As it turned out, in 2015's Avengers Age of Ultron, it was confirmed that the Mind Stone was indeed inside Loki's scepter. And of course, it would later be used as part of the complex recipe that would bring the Vision to life in the same movie. It's hard to know whether or not it was originally the intention for the scepter to house the Mind Stone, or whether it was something Marvel Studios only decided on after the release of the Avengers. Either way, there were 2 Infinity Stones in that movie, and only Avengers Infinity War has featured more since then.
They see everything. They see you leading us to hell.
ASGARD'S destruction. In 2015's Avengers Age of Ultron, the then villainous Scarlet Witch used her powers to induce a vision on the mighty Thor. The vision in question saw Heimdall telling the God of Thunder that he'd ultimately lead Asgard into hell, while his eyes turned completely white. First and foremost, this led fans to theorize that Heimdall possessed the Soul Gem, as his eyes were usually orange, and the theory suggested he must have lost it in the vision. But another theory came from it, and it was the theory that Asgard would really fall in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that it would literally be Thor's doing. Asgard was an integral part of the MCU, and destroying the home of so many important characters would be very out of character for the folks at Marvel Studios. But the theory turned out to be true, as Asgard's destruction did indeed come in 2017, when Thor Ragnarok was released. And it was indeed Thor himself who triggered the apocalyptic event, in order to defeat Hela and save the Asgardian civilians that she hadn't already brutally massacred from her otherwise inevitable wrath.
The Tesseract was the jewel of Odin's treasure room.
Red Skull's status. 2011's Captain America: The First Avenger saw Steve Rogers going up against his iconic comic book foe, Johann Schmidt, who was otherwise known as the Red Skull. At the end of the movie, the Nazi villain attempted to lay his hands on the Tesseract, or the Space Stone as it's now known, and he appeared to be killed in the process. However, countless fans theorized that he wasn't actually dead at all, and that what had really happened is he'd been transported across the cosmos. In Avengers Infinity War, that theory was revealed to be true when Red Skull appeared on the planet Vormir as the keeper of the Soul Stone. He explained that he had been cast out by the Tesseract all those years ago, as it had deemed him unworthy of wielding it, and he had now been cursed to lead others to the Soul Stone, and given that it wasn't as simple to obtain as the others, he informed Thanos of what he had to do to get his hands on it, which was to sacrifice somebody he loved. Planet Hulk. From the moment the Hulk appeared in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, fans have been hoping that he would ultimately go on the rampage, resulting in a World War Hulk movie. That would require a Planet Hulk movie first, assuming it followed the plot of the comics, which meant fans also theorized a Planet Hulk movie would happen in the MCU. At the end of 2015's Avengers Age of Ultron, the Hulk took to a Quinjet, turned off all means of communication, and headed off to parts unknown. Fans immediately theorized that this was leading to a Planet Hulk story arc in the MCU, with the Quinjet taking the big green guy into space. Although there wasn't exactly a whole arc devoted to it, the Planet Hulk storyline was partially adapted as a subplot in Thor Ragnarok, when the God of Thunder found the Hulk fighting gladiatorial battles on the planet Sakaar. How exactly he got there in a Quinjet remains a mystery, because in spite of the fact that there were wormholes leading to Sakaar, it's not as though Earth is surrounded by them. The Quinjet would have needed to go deep into space to reach one, and we weren't led to believe Quinjets had the ability to do quite that.
He would have destroyed us all, had I not pulled us into the Soul Gem.
The Soul Stone's location. Before the Soul Stone's location in the Marvel Cinematic Universe was finally revealed in Avengers Infinity War, fans of the MCU came up with all manner of different theories regarding where it might be. In Wakanda, in the possession of Heimdall, or maybe it was the Eternal Flame, for example. In general, most fans were convinced that it would either turn out to be an item that we'd already been introduced to with another name, or that it would be in a place we were already familiar with. But a small number of fans simply theorized that we hadn't been given any indication of the whereabouts of the last Infinity Stone up to that point. It was that minority of fans who turned out to be correct, as its location was revealed to be the distant and barren planet of Vormir. Vormir hadn't yet been explored or even introduced up until then in the MCU, but that's where Gamora revealed it was to Thanos in Infinity War. As it turned out, it was being guarded by the aforementioned Red Skull, who expressed his frustration at not being able to possess it himself, before giving Thanos the knowledge required for him to obtain it.
Wait, you're just using me to get to the Hulk.
What?
Screw it.
No, I don't even like the Hulk.
Banner in the Hulkbuster. The trailer for Avengers Infinity War confirmed the return of the Hulkbuster armor, which was last seen in 2015's Avengers Age of Ultron. But Tony Stark was in the trailers wearing his new nanotech armor, so fans began to theorize who was wearing the Hulkbuster. The trailers also showed the Hulk in action, which generally means the character has no need for full body armor, as he's ridiculously durable without it. Regardless, Bruce Banner, the man the Hulkbuster was designed to fight against, was the popular theory regarding who was inside it, and that was confirmed when the movie came out. The Hulk's refusal to re-emerge after taking a beating at the hands of Thanos in the movie's opening scenes forced Banner to look for an alternative way to fight, and in the final battle in Wakanda, he took to it like a duck to water, after a minor hiccup in the form of a stumble when he first started using it. Anyway, granted, some toys showing Banner in the armor helped with the theory, but toys don't always reflect what happens in movies. The fact that Hulk appeared in the trailer seemed to rule the possibility out for most people.
And I could snap my fingers, and you'd all cease to exist.
The Finger Snap. As soon as Thanos made his first appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the mid-credit scene of 2012's Avengers movie, fans started hoping to see an adaptation of the iconic Infinity Gauntlet comic book arc on the big screen. However, the more the Infinity Stones started appearing in the franchise, the less likely it seemed that a truly faithful version of the Infinity Gauntlet could be made in live action. To put it simply, the stones simply aren't as powerful as the Infinity Gems from the comics, so the scale of what they could do just didn't seem as large. That didn't stop fans from theorizing that Thanos' ultimate goal in the MCU would still be to snap his fingers and wipe out half of all life in the universe using the stones, however. But very few people truly believed it would happen. But in Avengers Infinity War, Thanos showed that previous Infinity Stone wielders in the franchise just weren't using them to their full potential, and he did indeed use them to erase 50% of all life with a simple snap of the fingers.
Hey, gee, I've got so many more stories to tell. Guys,
And that's the end of our video. Did you enjoy it? Which other crazy Marvel fan theories ended up coming true? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Screen Rant for more great videos just like this one. Bye for now.